This right here is my healthy vegan, no chicken Alfredo lasagna, made with no oil, no wheat, no refined sugar, and no rice. And today, I'm going to show you how to make your own. All right, so first thing we're going to do is make our sauce. And to do that, we're going to get our onion and our garlic sauteing in a pan. Onions and garlic are both from the alliinase family and are super healthy, but if you cut your onions and garlic and put them in a pan right away, it's going to destroy some of the beneficial compounds. Cut your onions and garlic and let them sit for 10 minutes to form the compounds before heating. And most people also think that you need oil or butter to get golden brown onions, but we're going to use vegetable broth and get the same results. All right, so we have our garlic and our onions sauteed, and the beautiful thing about making a healthy vegan Alfredo sauce is that we're leaving out stuff like butter and oil and cream, and what we're using are the onions, the garlic, some cauliflower that I steamed earlier, along with some coconut aminos, some nutritional yeast, some cashews to make it even creamier, a little miso paste, and then this lemon. All right, so let's put it all together. So I'm going to combine and mix my ingredients in a Vitamix, but any high-powered blender will do. Okay, so I blended my cauliflower first because if I tried to put the whole batch in, it wasn't going to fit. So I had to blend about half of it and then put another half and blend it until it started to sink down and make space for the rest of our ingredients. We're going to add those now. Now that I've got my cauliflower blended well enough to make some space, I'm going to add the rest of my ingredients, including some vegetable broth and the juice from half a lemon. Now it's important that when you blend your sauce that you blend it really well. This way the sauce will be nice and smooth, and it also ensures that all the flavors will be balanced. All right, so now I got my sauce prepared and it's set aside. Now I'm going to take these oyster mushrooms, I'm going to saute and season them to create our veggie meat. Now, I like that I have these mushrooms because so many times on Instagram, people look at my mushrooms and go, where do you get those mushrooms? They look great, they look great. Well, today they don't look so great. They look good enough, but they don't look great like my mushrooms typically do. But guess what? They're still gonna be just as good, which I'm letting you guys know when your mushrooms don't look as good as mine, don't worry about it, still use them. You can still make a great dish, and that's what we're gonna do. Alright, so now it's time to prep our mushrooms, and we're going to do this by cutting the bottoms off. Then we're going to get our pan ready by adding some vegetable broth. Remember, no oil here. Now I'm going to take my weighted presser to press the mushrooms and strike a pose. As you see, they exude a lot of water, but this is okay. We're going to let it evaporate before we continue. Alright, so now we want to get our mushroom seasoned, so I'm adding my seasoning mixture here. So once I start seasoning my mushrooms, I want to start mixing them. Then I'm going to add some broth and mix them some more. It's important to mix them enough to get the flavors evenly dispersed. Alright, so now I've got my mushrooms sauteed nicely to where I want them. Now it's just a matter of getting them chopped into the size that I want them for the lasagna. These look so good. If you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe below. Okay, so there's one more thing we have to do before we start layering our lasagna in the pan. We're going to combine some spinach with this vegan ricotta cheese. Now I make this primarily out of cashews, and to see the recipe for this, check the link in the description below and you can find a ricotta cheese. Now I'm going to combine my spinach and my vegan ricotta and add lots of garlic, a little bit of salt, and some pepper. And now once we get this done, we're moving closer to the end. Okay, so now we've got everything prepped and ready to go. That means it's time to layer our lasagna. So now we need our noodles. Now I cooked these noodles earlier, and to keep them from sticking, I put them in some cold water and just set them aside. But now it's time to get to it. Let's do it. So my preferred noodles, and the noodles that I'm using here, are organic chickpea noodles. But you could use any wheat-free, rice-free noodle of your choice. Now remember I said that I put the noodles in some cold water, both to cool them off and to keep them from sticking. But it's important that if you use this method, not to let them soak too long, because then the noodles will get really delicate and be likely to tear easily. As far as layering the lasagna, the first thing I'm going to do is put some sauce at the bottom. This keeps the bottom layer of noodles from sticking to the pan. And then after that, it's just a matter of putting all our ingredients together. I typically put 2 layers of mushrooms, but this was all they had at the grocery store, so I'm doing 1 layer here. Next, we're going to add a final layer of cheese sauce, and now we're ready to get it in the oven. Now, once it cooks, I'm going to take it out while it's still hot and add some breadcrumbs and then let it cool for about 30 to 45 minutes. Now it's time to cut it, and look what we have here. Healthy vegan lasagna. No oil, no wheat, no refined sugar, no rice. Oh, I can't wait to try this. All right, so here we are. No oil, no wheat, no refined sugar, no rice. No problem. Let's give it a taste. Now that's what I'm talking about.